Hi, welcome in this getting started video for Polygon cutter asset. In this video I will explain you the basics of how you can use this asset. We will create some simple objects and try to cut them using Polygon cutter. So for this scene we have simple background objects like this ground object and this tree. They are not necessary. So we can create our first object. We have a simple example sprites in the images folder. We can select an apple and place it somewhere in our scene. This apple is a simple game object with sprite render attached. To be able to cut this object using Polygon cutter, we must add sliceable object to the script, and this script also is adding Polygon collider to your objects. So this is essential collider for Polygon cutter. So it must be on your object when you use sliceable object to the scripts. We need second object, which will be polycutter. To create this object we can create empty object and add polycutter component to it. The name of this object will be automatically changed, and basically this is it. We can run this game now, but when you try to cut something, you can see that this cutting line has pink material attached, so we must change this cutting material to something we will like. For example, we have a folder with materials and we have few simple example materials created. We can select white outline and assign it to our cutting material, and from now on it will be used as a cutting line. Polycutter works in that way that you must create cutting line outside of an object, and it must be finished also outside of an object. So something like this. This cutting line is below our apple because of the sorting layers. So you can click polycutter. This is a line render component attached, and you can change sorting layer or order in layer, that this cutting line will be above the apple. So for now you can see that line is above, and we can cut this apple. When I release left mouse button, the two pieces of an apple were created. We can select any of them. We can change their position. Of course we can cut multiple times, and these parts are created. This is for games where you don't need physics, but most games use physics, so let's add some physics to this apple. This is simple. We only need to attach a rigid body to this apple. And when we attach rigid body, this apple starts to behave like physics object. We can slice it, and parts that were created with this cut also behave like physics objects. So this rigid body component was also added to all of the parts created by Polygon Cutter. As you can see, Polygon Cutter also names your object, so you can